Join me for an emotional and inspiring true story of hope, kindness, and the power of human connection in the face of infertility. Part 2 of Rene's story. We went ahead with the surrogacy process. Trisha's parents were not excited by the idea, especially when they learnt who the beneficiary wore. They had no issues with the surrogacy itself, but her father, Mr. Jones, had said, "If the tables were turned, they would probably never do the same for you." That hit deep, because I could not say it was untrue. The first try was unsuccessful, but the second try worked. I remember the day the doctor's office called to give me the news. I froze for a minute and then screamed with joy as I ran to tell my husband. The next few months were a whirlwind of hospital visits with Trisha and preparing for the baby's arrival. My family was a little skeptical when I told them the news. It was hard to let go of the old feud, especially as the two restaurants were still competing fiercely for clientele. However, as the reality of the situation sank in, my family's excitement grew. My mother had always wanted a grandchild. The fact that I was an only child did not help matters much. A week before the expected date of birth, we discovered that the Joneses' restaurant was in some serious financial trouble. The bank was about to foreclose on them. Trisha was distraught. I didn't know what to say. Our restaurant was doing quite well, most likely at their expense. I felt bad for them. I was worried the stress might affect Trisha. It did. She went into labor, and within 5 hours we were the proud parents of the most beautiful baby girl. The moment was surreal. My whole family was there. Trisha's husband, who had been a pillar during the pregnancy, was there too. I didn't expect Trisha's other family come, but for some reason, despite the trouble at their restaurant, and despite the enmity between our families, her parents came. My parents were excited about the little one. My father was besotted. As the first grandchild, she held a very special place in my family. Just before everyone left, my father said he had an announcement. "This is a very happy day for my family. I know how much Rene has longed for this day. Congratulations to Rene and my son-in-law. You are going to be great parents. A special thank you to Trisha and your whole family. You have shown my daughter more love and kindness than any friend could have. I regret my part in the fight between our families. That madness ends today." Mr. Jones's phone rang at that moment and he excused himself to take it. When he came back, he announced that the bank had just informed him that an anonymous donor had paid off his debt. I could see the relief and confusion in the old man's eyes. I glanced at my dad, and he averted his gaze and looked at the ceiling. Trisha had caught this, and when I looked at her, she had tears streaming down her face, and she mouthed a silent thank you. This was a new chapter for the two families. Thank you for listening to this story. Have you ever received help from an unexpected source? Share your experience in the comments, and don't forget to like this video. Subscribe to my channel to read more uplifting stories about infertility and family dynamics. Join me